All right. So for my cultural mapping project, I focused on the South Asian community along Devon Avenue in the West Ridge neighborhood up on the north side of Chicago. And I chose this community because it's one of the most linguistically and culturally rich areas in the city and represents many multilingual learners who are currently or will be in CPS classrooms. And yeah, this project kind of helped me think more deeply about how community and language and culture and all these things are connected with school, specifically for multilingual learners. I thought this was a good neighborhood to do because I figured a lot of other people might not pick it, and there are a lot of different cultures represented within this one neighborhood. So I thought it would be perfect for this. All right, my next slide here is on why this community matters. So West Ridge is a major multilingual immigrant community in CPS. They have a large presence in the schools. There's lots of kids going to CPS schools from this community. So, yeah, I've got a map here. West Ridge. I'm not sure if it'll let me zoom in here. Oh yeah, it does. West Ridge is right up at the tippity top on the north side of Chicago, right next to Rogers Park up there, just to give you an idea. So let's move on to the next slide here. All right, who are the learners? So students from this community are typically Indian and Pakistani American students. And we see a lot of languages spoken in the neighborhood, including Urdu, Hindi, Gujarati, and Punjabi. So this first to the far left, this picture I have is a Urdu symbol. That language depicted right there is Urdu. And in the middle here, we see the Indian flag with some Hindi symbolism on it. And then this group of learners in the picture on the far right are Punjabi, which we can see from the traditional headwear they've got on. And yeah, students from this community often speak multiple languages, which I think makes it perfect for this assignment. And many of them are second generation students who navigate different cultural expectations at home and at school. So I'd imagine that's got to be tough to balance. And yeah, it's important to recognize that these students bring a lot of knowledge with them, even if they are still developing their academic English. So moving on here, we've got migration and history. This map here depicts South Asia, including India and some of the smaller countries around it. Economic, educational, and family-based migration. Families in this community, West Ridge, along Devon Avenue over there, have migrated to Chicago for a variety of reasons. These reasons include education, employment opportunities, reuniting with family, and in some cases, political or social instability in the places that these people are coming from. So these migration experiences shape how families view schooling, authority, and success. As teachers, understanding these backgrounds helps us avoid making assumptions about students' abilities or family involvement. So, yeah, it's important that we're seeing our students for who they are and getting to know them and not making assumptions. Let's move on here to language and identity. We've got a picture here. I believe this is on Devon Avenue. We see a Patel Brothers grocery store. Patel is an Indian name, so that kind of reflects the culture of the neighborhood there. And so how do language and identity play a role in this neighborhood? Well, language plays a huge role in identity in the community. Many families maintain strong home language use while students learn English in school. So you might have a student who's speaking primarily a different language at home and then going to school and speaking English. This slide connects directly to what we've discussed in class about language difference versus language deficit. Students developing English should never be confused with a lack of intelligence or motivation. Bilingualism should really be looked at, I think, as a strength and not a problem to fix. We're not trying to replace students' languages. We're just trying to get them proficient in English as well. Okay, moving on to faith and values. So the common religions we see practiced along Devon Avenue up in the West Ridge neighborhood include Islam, Hinduism, and Sikhism. These are typically family-centered faiths, and they focus highly on education. So I've got like a little symbol here for representing each of those faiths. All right, visual culture. So some of the signs that you'll see in public and symbols and stuff like that really reflect the cultural identity of the neighborhood, like how I was talking about. Here's another Patel Brothers store, like we saw a couple slides ago. This is a different one. But yeah, like I was saying, the name Patel, that's Indian, fits into the area, gives you a sense of the sort of demographic and the culture and what's going on in this neighborhood. So that's why I included that picture. All right, community assets. I was having trouble finding pictures of cultural organizations or places like that were actually in the neighborhood. I don't know why. So this is a mosque. I'm not sure exactly where that mosque is located, but that's more just an example. And then we've got a temple here as well. So different places of worship that you might come across in the West Ridge neighborhood. All right, school implications. So I've got a little picture here of a class being taught. And even though schools may serve students from this community, they don't necessarily always reflect or affirm their cultures and languages, according to a lot of what I have read doing research for this. So this can show up as English-only policies sometimes, which might be harmful to students. There may be limited family outreach in some schools, or a curriculum that doesn't fit students' histories or include them. And recognizing these gaps can help educators think more critically about how we can better support these multilingual learners and their families, and get rid of some of these obstacles for them. So I believe we've got one slide left, and that is going to be teacher takeaways. So what can be taken away from this as a teacher? I think if this project reinforced anything for me, it's that culturally responsive teaching goes far beyond food, festivals, or holiday lessons. That's the fun stuff. But as a teacher, I need to learn about my students' communities, honor their home languages, and be able to design instruction that reflects who they really are. And I think that's where you need to be looking as a teacher. How can I support these students, celebrate their culture, and build instruction into the curriculum in a way that represents everybody? So yeah, understanding communities like West Ridge helps me be more intentional about inclusion, advocacy, and equity in my future classroom. So that's about all I've got. Thanks for listening and tuning into my presentation here. It was really interesting learning more about West Ridge and specifically Devon Avenue. I've heard they have a lot of great food up there. I haven't really checked the area out too much myself. It's way up on the north side and I'm way down on the south side. But yeah, maybe soon. This was really cool to learn more about, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much.